Financially raw, real, authentic wisdom with Laurence Oberholzer from Retire Rich and Happy.
You definitely know it's that time on a Tuesday afternoon, exactly the bottom of the hour. Laurence is back with us in studio for another conversation around our money and our finances, right? Always coming with the tips and always coming bearing gifts as well. As always, crossing fingers and toes that he's got some giveaways for us today as well. Laurence, welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
It's good to have you. This is quite an interesting topic we're having today because, I've seen on social media, on the phones, the notifications have been going crazy.
Already.
The catalogs are out. Some stores are actually even having pre-Black Friday specials on already.
Yeah, typical South Africa. We take one day and we make it a whole month and we just expand on it.
Exactly. The retailers are fighting so that come the 28th of November, we're all pushing against each other to grab all of these items on Black Friday. And so, sure, we need these tips because beyond Black Friday, there's January.
And then, if you don't manage it good or well now, you're going to have January. And we all know that feeling. Starting on that 3rd or the 5th of the month and you have nothing. You still have a whole month to go before you get
and
paid
January
again.
feels like 3 months in one.
It's crazy.
So, Laurence, you've got some 10 tips for us?
Yes. Yeah, so let's start with the first one, the one that's up and coming, the Black Friday. So the first thing about Black Friday, you can make Black Friday work for you if you prepare for Black Friday. So how you prepared? What do most people do? They see a special and then they convince themselves they need the special and then they go and buy. What you want to do with Black Friday is you want to make a list of items that you are planning to buy in any case.
Yes.
Up front.
Yeah.
Make the list. Then go and do some research on what those items will cost in normal circumstances. So that when Black Friday comes along, you actually have something to compare it with. We all know how the retailers work. We all know how they, 2 days before they put the price up and then they say it's a 50% discount and we all fall for that.
Yeah.
So do your preparations, do your research beforehand so that you know if that television is now 5,000, it was actually 7.5 last week, so it is a special. Yeah. Not it was 6,000 and now it's 6,200 and you're thinking it's a special. And only buy the things on your list. Don't care whether something is 75% off. If it isn't on your list, have the discipline not to buy it. Because if you do that properly, you can make it work for you. Okay, so that's the first one. That's Black Friday.
Yeah.
Number 2, avoid going overboard with gifts. We so much want to do all of these things for our kids and our loved ones. But the question I always ask people is, and most people can't answer me, is what did you get for Christmas last year? And we first have to go, whoa.
What did I?
We can't really remember
because
the gifts isn't what it's all about. It's about spending time with family. If I ask people what did they do for Christmas last year, most people can answer me within a few seconds. If I say, what did you get for Christmas last year? It takes more time. And that's not even if we go 2 years back or 3 years back, you can't remember. So remember, the gifts are just a part of it. Don't go over it. Next year, you won't even remember it. Number 3, this is something I've been doing for many years. Now, it might be a little bit too late for this year, but it's something that you can start doing for next year. South Africans love our loyalty points, our e-bucks and our discount points and our clicks points, and we're like a points nation. So, but what do? We get to the till, we buy a few things and they say, do you want to use your points? And you go, yeah, let's use the points. And it means nothing. So what I do, and I've been doing it for many years, is I save up my points throughout the year. I never use it. And then when Christmas comes along, I use my points first to buy presents. And then only once I've used up my points, then I go and I spend my own money.
So smart. Why are you only telling me now?
Well, hopefully for next year, you can start doing that.
Yeah.
And you will be amazed how far those points go when you save them up and you don't just spend it because you've spent 100 Rand at the till. So that's the third one. Number 4. Oh, this is important. Manage your December's paycheck wisely. I'm not talking end of November. You must keep in mind that end of November is December's salary. The salary that you're getting on the 15th of December is not December's salary. It is January. You have to take it out of your account and put it somewhere else because we think it's part of our December salary. So have the discipline, take that money, put it somewhere else and leave it there until the end of the month. And only then do you move it back into your account. Number 5, before we take our break, always have a shopping list when you go shopping.
Yeah.
Never walk into a shop just without a list. There's so many apps now that you can use. We use one in our household called Bring. And if it's not on Bring, it's not being bought.
Yes.
Because if I get home and they say, oh, but there's no cornflakes. I say, was it on Bring? No, it's not on Bring. Well, then it wasn't that important to you, was it? So next time we go to the shop, then we'll get it if it's on the list. Because what happens is it takes away the impulse buying.
Yes.
And it's that 50 Rand, 100 Rand, 70 Rand, 120 Rand every now and again that you add that very quickly adds up to a few thousand every month that you're overspending. So when you go to the shop, have a list. If it's not on the list, you don't buy it.
Yes.
You can get it tomorrow because if it was important, it would have been on the list.
And I think on top of sticking to the list, leave the kids at home.
Leave the kids at home. Well, that's one of the things we're going to talk about when we come back is what do we do with the kids?
Yes, I love that, Laurence. And by the way, so as always, he's giving away 3 30-minute Q&A sessions with him one-on-one to teach you a cash flow management system and how you can cut your expenses by 10% immediately. So for example, if every month your expenses add up to 30,000 Rand, he'll teach you how can you cut off 3,000 Rand immediately from your monthly expenses. So that's a cash flow management system and how you can cut your expenses by 10% immediately. So once again, first come, first served. Are we randomly picking numbers?
We're randomly picking numbers. I'm going to do 6, 7, and 8. You like that one. Now you have to be in a very small band to win.
6, 7, and 8 will be getting the giveaway. So it's only for 3 people. And what you need to do to enter for this one is just SMS the phrase RRH, right? It's just 3 letters, RRH. They stand for Retire Rich and Happy, plus your name. Don't forget your name. So it's RRH plus your name to 45776. It is a free SMS line. So you can literally just run to it now. RRH plus your name to 45776, and you can win the 30-minute session where he'll teach you a cash flow management system as well as how you can cut your expenses by 10% immediately. If you would like for me to send you these details on the WhatsApp line, as always, you can just say RRH onto 071-3640-376, and I'll send you the SMS line details so you can enter and hopefully you win one of those spots. Do stay tuned. We're coming back with 5 more tips after the break. It's Nicole C. Mullen on the song. It's called I Need You As a Dear. It takes us to 44 minutes after 1 on the daytime break. And this is our Financially Raw feature with Laurence Oberholzer, CEO of Retire Rich and Happy. And today he's really come in with some practical tips really to help us avoid January, because it's a real thing year in and year out. And now if we fail here with these very practical and easy to apply tips, then I don't know. Then I give up.
Then you must worry.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do number 6. So you mentioned something, leave the kids at home when you go shopping. I mean, if we just think of how many times during the festive season we go to the shops. So if you have the ability, try not to take the kids with. But not everybody has. You have to take the kids with.
Yeah.
So here's a practical tip. Make sure that everybody has eaten something before you go to the shops. I mean, what happens when you walk into that shop? I'm hungry. That's the first thing that comes out of their mouth. And before you know it, it's 200, 300, 400 Rand every single time. So just making sure that everybody has eaten something before you go to the shops. Already cut expense, because we don't think it's big. I'm just going to buy a pie, or I'm just going to buy them a Coke and something small. Before you know it, it's 100 or 200 Rand. Take that over 5 or 10 times that you go to the store. That's another 1,000, 2,000 Rand out the window. Number 7. Especially when you do the whole staycation thing. But even if you go somewhere, plan your festive activities in advance. I mean, have an itinerary. Say to yourself, this day we're going to do that, and that is what it's going to cost. What happens so often is we wake up in the morning, what are we going to do with the kids? What are we going to do today? And we just on the fly decide on something, and suddenly it's costing us 1,000 Rand or 2,000 Rand for the day, which we haven't planned for. If you plan it in advance, not only will you spend less, but you will enjoy it more as well, because the kids yourself have something to look forward to. You can get up early, you know where you're going, you have packed, and you go and enjoy it. So plan your festive activities in advance. Number 8, I know this is such a cliche, but it does work. Like it ties into number 2, is create personalized gifts. Consider making personalized gifts, which can be much more meaningful to people and less expensive as well. And I know it's a cliche, and I know people have heard it, but it works. That's why it's a cliche, is go and make something that somebody will remember for the rest of their life instead of just buying something. Okay, number 9. This is so important. When the festive season starts, sit down and have a budget meeting with the family, the whole family, kids included. And you sit and you create your budget and you say, guys, this is how much we have to spend for the festive season. And you sit with your family and decide, how do you make that money work? How much of this budget of ours are we going to spend on activities? How much are we going to spend for gifts? How much are we going to spend for takeaways? And you create a plan around that. The reason for that is, once you sit with the family, and the kids especially understand that there's a budget, they can start making decisions and say, listen, but I want a bigger present, but now remember, we're not going to go to this place this year because we're spending the budget here instead of there. So it is so important to have them involved in this process. Don't go to your kids and just say, we're not doing this, we don't have the money. Because kids don't understand that.
Yeah.
Make them part of the decision-making process, because then you're in control. You have some control over it. And then number 10, plan. Again, might be something too late for this year, but something that you can do for next year. Plan your year in advance. So sit down already in the beginning of the year and look at the year in advance, including presents for Christmas and those kind of things. We call it CapEx expenses, capital expenditure, but no, because those are the things that get us in trouble. It's those once-off expenses that's not typically part of our budget. The birthdays, the anniversaries, the car tires that needs to be replaced, those kind of things. It's not part of our budget, so what do? We chuck it on the credit card, or we take out a personal loan. So plan it in advance and say, in January, is there any birthdays? Is there any anniversaries? How much must I budget for that? Put that separate and make sure that you have your year planned. Because a good financial year doesn't happen by chance. It happens by design. You have to sit and design your life for the year 2026.
I absolutely love what you're saying. Just exactly that last point, Laurence, because then even for the festive money that you're going to spend, little by little, you could be putting away, a bit for December, so that you don't have to finish all, like we are saying, your December salary at once during that time.
Before January even
And the
starts.
impulsive spending is what kills us in December.
And you can look at retail. The whole retail is about getting us to do impulse spending. I mean, we spoke about it off air. When you walk to the till, what do? You go through the aisle of death
and
with
the sweets and the chips and everything.
Why do they do that? Because they want you to not have something to do with yourself. They want you to buy on impulse.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm hungry. take something. And the more they can get you to take, the better. So impulse spending, you're 100% correct. If you can move away from impulse spending, you're going to save massive amounts over Christmas.
Sure. Awesome stuff, Laurence. And I quickly want you to just wrap up by explaining once again what is up for grabs today.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is the 3 people that win, I'm going to sit with them. I'm going to teach them our cash flow management system so that they can take control of their budget and their cash flow. And I'm going to show them how they use that to cut their expenses by at least 10%. And I say at least. So if you've got 30,000 Rand budget, 3,000 Rand, think about what that's going to mean to you in your pocket every month.
You're a lot. So if you want to stand a chance to win that, then all you need to do is SMS to a free SMS line, the letters RRH, that stand for Retire Rich and Happy, as well as your name. So that's RRH Zinhle, for example, to 45776. If you did miss that, you can send RRH to Impact Radio's WhatsApp line. But remember, that does not count as your entry. When I send you the information, you still need to SMS to the 45776 number for you to have a valid entry. Laurence, we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks' time
2
again.
weeks on the 2nd, I'll be here.
Awesome stuff. Thank you.
Cheers, Zinhle.
Follow us on our social media platforms at Impact 103.